Hey there, Ravens flock. Welcome back to Baltimore Talk, the weekly podcast giving you a recap of every Baltimore Ravens game from now to postseason. I'm your host, Anthony Propst, and I'll be bringing you everything you miss, plus my own personal thoughts, opinions, and analysis. Yesterday, we watched the Week 14 game against our Baltimore Ravens and the division rival and just rival in general against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And that was a really, really good game for Baltimore defense, I'm going to be totally honest. Our offense, we had it going for us, but I definitely have to say the defensive team was definitely the MVPs yesterday. But before we get into all that, we got to take a look at the inactive list. Still inactive since last week, our quarterback, Lamar Jackson, him out with that knee, and his presence is definitely missed, but we know he was there on the sidelines yesterday watching the game, cheering on our guys. So we also have cornerback Pepe Williams out, inside linebacker Josh Bynes, our guard Kevin Zeitler, our tight end Nick Boyle, our other tight end Charlie Kohler, and our outside linebacker David Ojobu. And I'm not going to lie, the game was good. The game was real good yesterday. I was really happy with the way things went yesterday. And like I said, that is definitely due to our defense being studs yesterday. So let's get right into it, starting with the opening coin toss, which Pittsburgh did win, and they chose to defer. And I don't know how many times I'm going to say it. Anytime you win a coin toss, always defer, because you never know how that first half is going to go. But on that opening kickoff, Devin Duvernay, he returned it for a stunning 25 yards. And also, since we're about to start talking about the first play of the game, after 7 long weeks, we finally got J.K. Dobbins back again. After not having him all last year, we now have, and getting him back the first 7 weeks of the game and him now being out for a while, we finally got him back yesterday. And man, did he have moments yesterday. And I even highlighted some specific moments, so you're going to hear me get a little loud about that. But this first play of the drive, 1st and 10, is a handoff to J.K. Dobbins, but that unfortunately didn't go anywhere. Second one, it's 2nd and 10. That one's knocked down. And we also were having Tyler Huntley be our quarterback yesterday, our backup, our second in command. And he definitely had things going for him. He did take a few risky moves, but that's all right. Now on 3rd and 10, it is Demarcus Robinson who catches it for 9. And on 4th and 1, we make the decision to punt the ball away on our first opening drive here, which it's not too bad. Everybody has to punt every once in a while. This game's just getting started. It's early. Now, we're on the Steelers' first drive of the game. It is 1st and 10. The Steelers quarterback, he decides to drop back for 2 yards, and he is dropped down after that 2 yards thanks to our stud, Roquan Smith. Great trade, great pickup. He's definitely been making our defense a lot better this year. On the next play, which the quarterback didn't get dropped back. He got dropped after 2 yards. He decided to try to take it himself and was stopped after 2 yards. So now it's 2nd and 8, and the Steelers do convert on first down. So now it's 1st and 10 once again. They gain 3 after Jason Pierre-Paul. He gets a nice stop, as usual, because he is one of our big wigs. Now it's 2nd and 7. They gain another 2 yards. So we're now on 3rd and 5. Patrick Queen, he almost got the sack, but Roquan Smith ended up getting the good stop there. So the Steelers are forced to punt, and this is after only a couple minutes with 10:24 left in the first. It's now 1st and 10. J.K. Dobbins, once again, back at it, gains 4 yards. Then on the next play, 2nd and 6, he gains 2 more. So now it is 3rd and 2. Tyler Huntley in trouble, and he is somehow shorted of getting the first down, which didn't make any sense. So John Harbaugh threw up the challenge flag, and unfortunately the call did stand, and we were forced to lose the challenge flag and our timeout for the day, or at least one of them. Now it's 4th and inches. Tyler Huntley, he decides to push forward, and he does get that first down, so that was absolutely beautiful to see. Now we got Gus Edwards. He gets Gus the Bus, man, I'm telling you. He is a big boy, and nobody stops him. He gets going after 2 yards, and for some reason, I don't know why, they said they gave him 2, but they only put up a yard, which I don't understand. I don't understand the correlation between them saying he gained this much but not actually putting it on the screen, or them mentioning it on the Ravens Game Day Network, which I did get to listen to a little bit, but I also did visibly watch the game, so that was a lot better. So now it's 2nd and 9, and J.K. Dobbins, he gets that first down. Next play, 1st and 10, Demarcus Robinson, he gets a beautiful 27-yard catch, and he is able to put up great not points, but he got some great distance. And that was our thing yesterday. We were really getting yards and really getting down the field. Then on the next play, it is 1st and 10, Gus Edwards. He gains 2 again. 2nd and 8, the ball is deflected. The Steelers, they were able to get their hands up and swat that ball down. So now it is 3rd and 8, and there was a miscue there on that play. This one here, Tyler Huntley, he hiked the ball, but it looked like he hit it off the elbow or something of his man, and it just fell out of his hands. He quickly picked it up, but that one unfortunately didn't go anywhere. So we called out our trusty man, Justin Tucker, who attempted a 42-yard field goal, and he does get it, putting points up, the first points of the day for Baltimore, now being 3-0 in the first quarter. Now, back on the Steelers side, it's 1st and 10. Roquan Smith, he gets a nice stop after 4 yards. So now it's 2nd and 6, and they are just completely stuffed at the line. Let me tell you, they only got 2. They inched their way for 2 yards, but it was just a full swallow up of people at that front line. So it was so nice to see them do that. Now it's 3rd and 4, and Broderick Washington, I honestly, out of all our defensive players, our defensive linemen, he is a straight beast. He ends up not just doing what he does all the time and getting to the ball, but on this play here on 3rd and 4, he got his hands up and he slapped that ball down. He slapped that and said, no, not today. And there was also a flag on the play, and it was a holding call on Pittsburgh too. So that was just an insult to injury there. And in the neck, and this is what kills me. This one was crazy because this had the biggest upset. When the Steelers punted on 4th and 4, they end up only punting a short 17 yards. Let me express that. 17 yards. That ball did not go that far. So we were able to get that ball and stay within close proximity to midfield already. So, and here are the 3 big plays. These are 3 big things back to back to back right here. So it's that 17-yard punt. Then the first one, Tyler Huntley hands off to J.K. Dobbins, who breaks through the line and gets a 44-yard gain. A big 44-yard gain. He put his power in it. He used those speedy legs, and he just took off running. And if he didn't, he was able to just get a little more inside and get around the one guy. It would have been a straight touchdown. But speaking of touchdowns, because on the next play, 1st and goal, another handoff to J.K. Dobbins, and boom. Beautiful touchdown, beautiful execution. These 3 big things back to back. The short punt, the big yard gain, and then the touchdown. All within quick succession of themselves. So that'll put us up even further. It'll now be a 10-0 game, us taking the lead. So now, on the return, the Steelers do return it for 29 yards. So it is a 1st and 10, but it is a drop ball by the backside tight end. He tried to get it, but unfortunately he was not able to hang on to that ball. Now it's 2nd and 10, and I don't remember how to pronounce Adalis Owe, or however you pronounce his first name. I'm just going to keep using Owe. I apologize, good sir. But he gets a big stop after only a gain of 2 yards. So now it is 3rd and 8, and the Steelers do convert, unfortunately. So now they decide to throw a deep 42-yard pass, and they are able to get it. So now it is a 1st and goal for them here. And Marlon Humphrey, he gets a stop, but it was crazy because one side it didn't show the pass interference flag, but the other side apparently it did. I don't agree with it, but I can't argue with the refs, unfortunately, as much as I would love to. But it's now 1st and goal again. So the Steelers do end up scoring, and it is now a 3-point game of 10-7, us up still 10-7. And now here's where things became the kicker here. Instead of Devin Duvernay doing the return, it was Justice Hill, which was a interesting, I want to say, for the least, an interesting decision here. And he ended up returning it for 23 yards. So that's something to look at. It's now 1st and 10 for us here. Huntley, he fakes and passes it to Deshaun Jackson for 9 yards, and that will end the first quarter there. And few first quarter points, we had some good moments. I will say letting them get that deep pass and that pass interference call, little bogus, but I can't really say nothing about it. But like I said and expressed hugely, that short punt, those two big plays by J.K. Dobbins and using his manpower when he came back, absolutely stellar. And that is what took us where we needed to be. And honestly, that was the best part of the first quarter, was those three things, especially, like I said, having J.K. Dobbins back. And it was so nice to see him back once again because he's an absolute beast of a player. So, with that being said, let's start the second quarter here on 2nd and 1. Gus Edwards, once again, he gets a nice gain, and he gets 8 off of that, pushing us to another first down to move those chains. So now it's 1st and 10. And again, crazy Gus the Bus Edwards gains 16 for another consecutive first down. But on 1st and 10, Tyler Huntley is sacked and has, unfortunately, a loss of 6. So now it's 2nd and 16, and he's using his Lamar legs, and he decides to take it and run it for himself for a stunning 11 yards. So now it's 3rd and 5. He then runs it again and is stopped just shy of the first down marker. So now it's 4th and 1. And this was that play I mentioned earlier. It's 4th and 1, and this ball is almost fumbled because of a bad snap, and it has forced a turnover from Baltimore. This is the one where Tyler Huntley ran it, accidentally tapped it off the back of his man's leg, and he ended up, unfortunately, causing a turnover on this one here. So now we're on 1st and 10 for the Steelers now drive. And Chuck Clark and Roquan Smith, they double-team this play, and they end up getting a stop after 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. Steelers do, unfortunately, convert. It's now 1st and 10. They gain 8. 2nd and 2, gain only a yard. So now it's 3 and 1. Steelers get 7 and convert. And I'm not going to lie, they were marching down the field. They were really doing those short runs, those short passes, not trying to go crazy with it. They were just trying to get there. And they were definitely getting there. So now it is 1st and 10. And Calais Campbell, he gets a stop after Jason Pierre-Paul. He disrupts the backfield. He broke through the line and made everything go into a panic and go crazy. So that is the way Calais Campbell was able to get that beautiful stop, and I have to say it was great. Honestly, that is my favorite part of the defense, is seeing the teamwork, the way to react differently, and see them go from breaking up the play to recognizing that the play is broken up, so I can get this tackle or I can get this stop or sack or force a fumble or whatever. That is what I really appreciate about our defense, because they have that unspoken communication. They're able to speak with their eyes and see it happening or happen beforehand and able to get things done in quick succession. So I absolutely love seeing that there. So now, after all of that, it is 2nd and 9, and there was a flag on the play for a neutral zone infraction by us, unfortunately. So that moves up 5 yards. And now it is 2nd and 4. Roquan Smith, he gets a nice stop after only a gain of 2 yards there. So now it is 3rd and 2. And there was a flag on the play. Again, another neutral zone infraction, by Patrick Queen. So that will force a Pittsburgh first down. It's now 1st and 10. Roquan Smith, he gets a nice stop again after 2 yards. But, oh man, here's where it really started to happen. Because at this point, the Steelers quarterback, he did get injured. So he was out. But this next play was of the big 3 things that happened. Like I said, on defense yesterday, why we were the MVP. Because on 2nd and 8, Trubisky from Pittsburgh, their backup quarterback, he threw a pick 6 to Roquan Smith. He was looking at his man, and he saw him, and he was looking a little too deep and did not see Roquan Smith come out of the corner of his eye. And Roquan Smith was able to get his hands up, get that ball, and get that pick. And it was absolutely beautiful to see. It was absolutely amazing. And that, oh man, I can't tell you how loud I was screaming when I saw that. That was one of those big plays yesterday. So now we're on offense once again. It is 1st and 10. J.K. Dobbins, he gets a nice gain of 3. Then Kenyon Drake on 2nd and 7. He got the ball but couldn't get it to go anywhere. Now it's 3rd and 7. And Deshaun Jackson with a big gain of 21 yards. He had a nice pass thrown right to him, right to sideline, and he was able to reel it in and get out of bounds, and he was able to get things done and taken care of. So now it's 1st and 10. J.K. Dobbins, he gets a gain of 6. And there was a flag on the play. This one by holding on the Steelers for a nose tackle hold. And this is one of those flags and one of those things. Yes, you see holding calls all the time, but on a nose tackle, that has got to be one of the most rarest calls you will ever see in a nose tackle. And I find it crazy, and I find it absolutely mind-blowing that actually happened. Like, that one really, really confused me. I'm like, really? A nose tackling holding call? Like, you never see that happen. So that was an interesting one. So now it's 1st and 10 once again. Tyler Huntley, he takes it himself, which I won't lie, he was doing that a little more than he should have yesterday. I agree with the announcers and at Ravens Game Day Network that he was doing that a little too often. Yes, we know Lamar does it, but Lamar was already out and already hurt, so we couldn't afford to lose our backup quarterback. But as everybody who watched that game, we all know how that went. But we'll get to that soon. So now it is 2nd and 1. Gus Edwards, he gains 3, and that will put us at the 2-minute warning for the half. So now, once again, it's 1st and 10. Kenyon Drake, only gain of yard. 2nd and 9. Tyler Huntley on 2. He gains it. So now it's 3rd and 7. And the man who usually is Lamar's favorite target, who had been quiet a lot yesterday on 3rd and 7, Mark Andrews, unfortunately gets an incomplete pass. So now it is 4th and 7, and Justin Tucker comes out for a nice, easy 35-yard field goal, and he puts us up 13-7 right there. And within the last minute of the game, the Steelers go for 3 straight first down completions. One gets them 11. The second gets them 25. The third one gets them only 7. And on that third one, after a gain of 7, they decide to take a timeout. So now it is 2nd and 3, and they gain 8, take their second timeout with only 26 seconds left. And here we go. This is that second big play of the defense of the day. Trubisky from Steelers once again throws it, doesn't see the other man, and Patrick Queen gets a pick 6. This being 2 offensive series back-to-back that their quarterback threw picks. And our defense got their hands up, got to it, and got them. And man, was it amazing. So now it's 1st and 10 for us, and we just kneel it just to end the quarter, just to go into halftime. And oh boy. So now that we're at halftime, let us take a few minutes to talk about it. Let's take a few minutes to analyze this first half here. So I'm just going to go back and name my favorite things here. Like I said, starting obviously with the first 42-yard field goal, absolutely beautiful. We know Justin Tucker, he has the leg power, he has the strength, he has it all, man. He doesn't hold the record for most consecutive NFL kicks in NFL history for a reason. If he wasn't amazing. And he's been with Baltimore for 10 plus years. Like, you don't get that type of credibility and don't get those type of things unless you have seniority, you have credibility, and you have validation. And he has all 3. And that first one, he proved it. And then again in the first quarter, those 3 that short punt, those 2, that big gain by J.K. Dobbins and the touchdown, those 3 things just in the first quarter alone. That, I will say, that short punt led to our touchdown, but it was having our man J.K. Dobbins back, who is without a doubt a absolute baller. Like, he really knows how to get things done and get things going. And man, did he ever do it yesterday, because with that big gain and that touchdown in the first quarter, it was absolutely beautiful. And then, like I said, on defense is really where we had it going yesterday, with Roquan Smith being the first to get a pick 6. And then Patrick Queen right at the end of the quarter in the second one before half, getting a pick 6. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Like, I understand the quarterback has to survey every option and wants to try and get points and get things going, but you always have to be aware of everybody around you. You have to be aware is if you can see your man clearly, you always want to, if you're going to throw it, survey the defense just a little bit harder, just to make sure that you can not have what happened not just once, but twice in 2 offensive series back to back. I understand that it happened the first time. Yeah, okay, whatever, shake it off. But if you're going on your second offensive series after that one, and then you do it again, and this is right before half, and this is why I was saying that I have to commend them, like you always, choosing to defer is the smartest option, because then at the start of the third quarter, they get the ball back. So he'll get to make up for that. And I won't lie, it takes them a minute to do it, but he will have to make up for that, because it's you can't just throw 2 pick sixes back to back like that and not feel some type of way. I know I would feel some type of way. Even back when I played in high school, seeing that happen, even if I wasn't playing, I still felt some type of way. So I know Trubisky from Pittsburgh was really kicking himself for that one, and it was not a good look for Pittsburgh, especially in their own home stadium. But I have to say, for Baltimore Ravens defense, that is what we've been looking for weeks now, because the past couple games, yes, we have won them, but our defense had been lacking, and they were low-scoring games. And this one here, it might not have been like cracking the 20s or 30s like some of the other games in Week 14 yesterday, but man, this wasn't about quantity. This was about quality, and we had the best quality-looking defense that we've seen for Baltimore in a few weeks, and this was absolutely beautiful. I honestly don't even know how much more to praise our defense without getting into a few more spoilers, because once we get into the third quarter in a few minutes, once we get down these list of plays and once we get through it, I'm not going to lie, we have another big thing that happens, but I don't want to spoil anything. So with all that being said, let's kick it off with the opening kickoff of the third quarter with Justin Tucker sending it for a touchback to Pittsburgh, and let's get it going. On the first play, it is 1st and 10. Jason Pierre-Paul gets a huge stop, stuffs him right at the line, says, nope, you're not going anywhere. We're going to let you hang here. So now it's 2nd and 10, and the Steelers' man Sims, he was really killing it. He really stepped up in the second half because he was their favorite target. He got a big gain of 6 here. So now on 3rd and 4, they gain 14. 1st and 10, Calais Campbell, he gets a nice stop after a short 3 yards. It is 2nd and 7. Broderick Washington, again, he gets a beautiful stop after only a gain of a yard. So now it being 3rd and 6, the quarterback for Steelers, Trubisky, lots of trouble. Sims gets close, and he ends up only gaining 3 yards. It was absolutely crazy. He almost had it, but we were able to get the stop. So now we force a Pittsburgh punt here. It's now 1st and 10. J.K. Dobbins, 2 plays in a row, back-to-back. He gets a combined total of 15 yards, and he's able to convert 4 first down after gaining 9 on the first one. Then it'd be 2nd and 1, and he gets a nice 6. So then we finally hear Mark Andrews' name for the second time today, or yesterday technically, and this time it's not an incomplete. He gets a beautiful pass thrown right to him, and he is able to get the first down. So then it is 1st and 10 again. Gus Edwards gains 5 on 2nd and 5. He takes it himself again for a gain of 2. So now it's 3rd and 3, and Tyler Huntley decides to try and go for it himself, and that he only gets 2. But there was a late flag for unnecessary roughness, and that kind of put us at a disadvantage. And we ended up having to punt the ball away on 4th and 1. So now, back on the Steelers set here, and this is that drive. I'm telling you, this is where that last big defensive play happened. Steelers, they only gained 1 yard, so now it's 2nd and 9. They end up converting, unfortunately. 1st and 10, Trubisky is almost sacked, and the Steelers end up getting the first down. He was in so much trouble, and he almost got sacked, but he was able to let that ball off and get the first down. Now it's 1st and 10, and again, Sims, he gets the first down. 1st and 10 again. Owe and Matabike, they get a combined double-team stop and end up dropping them back for a yard. So now it's 2nd and 11, and the Steelers, they convert. And on that, I should say, on that last offensive drive for us, Tyler Huntley did go out, and he was in the blue tent under concussion protocol. And unfortunately, he was questionable at that point, but he did not come back. So when we get to it, I will talk about it. But here's what happened. After a 2nd and 11, and they got a yard, on this play here, they throw a huge and I mean long, huge, deep pass, and they end up throwing an interception courtesy of Marcus Williams. They threw a Hail Mary to the end zone on this play, and Marcus Williams ended up catching it in the breadbasket, and he was able to get a beautiful interception, and it went under review, and the call stood. He caught it, he had both feet in, and he was running under his own power with control of the ball before he dropped in the end zone. So this was absolutely beautiful, and it was absolutely crazy. But now here's where I'm talking about. With Tyler Huntley being out and in the blue tent under concussion protocol, we brought in our third string free agent, no NFL experience quarterback, Anthony Brown. And I'm not going to lie, I had never heard this cat's name before because I knew of Lamar being our main, Tyler Huntley being our backup. I didn't even know we had a third string this year, considering, like they even mentioned, that he had no NFL experience. He was a rookie free agent. I honestly don't even have words for it because I know nothing about him. So I will be doing some more research on him to see how things go, because I know we have a short week this week, but I will explain that at the very end. So with that being said, it's now 1st and 10, and he hands it off to DeMarcus Robinson for a gain of 4. Then, which it was weird because they said he gained 4, but they only gave him 3 yards. So now it's 2nd and 7, and J.K. Dobbins gets a nice first down completion with 11. It's now 1st and 10. Kenyon Drake takes the carry, fumbles, but we end on that fumble. It was a joint possession by both Baltimore and Pittsburgh. So we ended up maintaining possession of the ball and keeping it alive for us. So now it's 2nd and 10, and this pass, way too high. This one was a way too high and long pass by Anthony Brown. And this is where they had mentioned that Tyler Huntley was in concussion protocol so that he would be in the blue tent and heading to the locker room for not returning. So now it's 3rd and 9, and Anthony Brown just got swallowed up, and he was brought down real quick. So now it is the Ravens will punt, but there was a holding call by the Steelers, so they were forced to lose a couple yards after they got this punt here. So now it's 1st and 10, and it's 1st and 10, and the Steelers, they do gain 11 yards on their first play, giving them a first down to end the third quarter. So that is how we will end the third quarter. And I'm not going to lie, it sucked to see Tyler Huntley go out because he was our backup and he was really killing it. And not knowing anything about Anthony Brown, I don't really know how to feel about him yet. I do hope Tyler Huntley does have a speedy recovery and is back this coming week, because we still are unclear about Lamar's current status and if he will be back. We know after last week, John Harbaugh did say that it wasn't a season-ending injury for Lamar with his knee, but they are taking special care and special precaution to make sure that they don't rush his return and rush his recovery, because we all know that you never want to rush a recovery after an injury like that because it could have longer lasting effects and damage. So hopefully Lamar will be back. Hopefully Tyler Huntley will be back, or maybe Anthony Brown will have an upset and have a really big surprise this coming week. We don't know yet, but now let's get into the final and last quarter of the game. And now that we're in quarter 4, it is the 1st and 10. Marlon Humphrey gets a nice stop after a gain of 2 yards from Pittsburgh. So now it's 2nd and 8. They throw an incomplete pass courtesy of Marcus Peters being able to break up the play and get things stopped. It is 3rd and 8. The Steelers do unfortunately convert, and there was now on the next play, they gain 8 on a 1st and 10, but there was a late flag for unnecessary roughness on Marcus Peters because they were able to get the play stopped and he got it taken care of, and there was a little shoving afterwards. Like, there was a late hit on him, but he ended up getting unnecessary roughness. And like they said, it's always the second guy. It's always the second guy who ends up getting caught or getting in trouble instead of the initial one, which that happened to be that one there. So now it's 1st and 10. Patrick Queen gets a stop after only a short gain of 2. And then Tyus Bowser, he gets a sack and ends up dropping Trubisky back for 5 yards. And this was absolutely crazy. This one here, Tyus Bowser, he really came in and was just a brute on that play. So now it's 3rd and 13. Pittsburgh takes their first timeout of the half. And once we come back on that, Tyler Huntley, or not Tyler Huntley, I read the wrong last name, Marlon Humphrey, he keeps them out of the end zone and is able to get a beautiful, beautiful breakup play and stop. And then oh my goodness, I have to be honest, this one I need to talk about for a second. It is 4th and 13. The Steelers go for a 40-yard field goal, but the 6'8", however many pounds, monster that is Calais Campbell got his hands up and blocked it. We had two beautiful picks, one beautiful interception, and then a great blocked field goal by Baltimore Ravens defense. I am going to give the biggest praise to them because, like I said, this is the Baltimore defense we all know and love. This is that Baltimore defense that held Miami down for so long in week 2 before, unfortunately, we lost that, but that's neither here nor there because we killed it in the first couple quarters in Miami week 2. We had a huge lead courtesy of our defense, and this is the same defense that really put up the energy yesterday. Like I said, 2 picks, 1 great interception, and a blocked field goal. Absolutely stellar. Let me tell you, absolutely stellar. Calais Campbell has to be, I swear, if he didn't get player of the week or he doesn't get player of the week or this play doesn't make top 10 or didn't make top 10, I don't know. I didn't watch SportsCenter this morning. I'm going to be honest, or NFL Network yet. These things, if they don't get shown, I'm going to be disappointed because these were crazy. I know crazier things happened in football and happened in the league yesterday, but being a Baltimore podcast, being a Baltimore fan, this was Baltimore Ravens football. This was Baltimore Ravens defense, to be more specific. And man, was it ever beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely crazy. So with that blocked field goal, it is now 1st and 10 for Baltimore's offense, with J.K. Dobbins getting a nice gain of 5. Then on the second play, he gets a gain of 4, so now it's 3rd and 1. Patrick Ricard, he checks in. He is a big man, a big monster. So he ends up gaining 2 and getting the first. So now it is 1st and 10. Unfortunately, the ball is deflected. It was almost picked off, but it was ruled as incomplete because they weren't able to catch it and get to it. So saved us some trouble. Now it's 2nd and 10. Demarcus Robinson, he gets a gain of 6. 3rd and 4, Mark Andrews, spicy man that he is, gets 7 yards. So we get the first down with a couple extra. It's now 1st and 10. And J.K. Dobbins, nice gain of 6. Gus Edwards on 2nd and 4. Truck that he is, ends up getting 7. 1st and 10 once again. Unfortunately, Gus Edwards, after a nice big couple plays, he ends up losing it for a yard. But he makes up for it on 2nd and 11. He ends up getting 7. So now it's 3rd and 4, and J.K. Dobbins gets a nice handoff on 3rd and 4 and only gains a yard. So with us being just short, we end up going on 4th and 3, and Tucker, easy 30-yard field goal, gets it. No question, no hesitation. It's Justin Tucker. Like anybody has any doubt. If you ever doubt Justin Tucker's abilities, I feel sorry for you because I will never doubt this man ever in the history of life. But after that, it's 1st and 10 for the Steelers, and that is an incomplete pass thanks to Roquan Smith. 2nd and 10 is a long pass, and I mean a deep, long pass. And they might not have gotten it, but we end up getting a roughing the passer flag, unfortunately. So now it is a 1st and 10 with a gain of 14 for the Steelers. And this one was crazy because after that, they get down in the red, and they unfortunately get the game within a 2-score game of 16-14. And this is where things got crazy because after that, when we go on our last drive, Pittsburgh decides to take a timeout after we don't go anywhere because it's our 1st and 10. We get a handoff and it doesn't go anywhere. So we are stopped there. So Pittsburgh will take their second timeout of the quarter, or of the half, I should say. Now it's 2nd and 10. Gus Edwards, he gains 7. And Pittsburgh takes their 3rd and final timeout. This being right just shy of the 2-minute warning, we are on 3rd and 3. And all we need to do, with it being the 2-minute warning, all we need to do is get the first and kneel it and end the game, which is exactly what we do. Is on 3rd and 3, that monster, that big man, that truck, like I said before, Gus Edwards on 3rd and 3, he gets the first down, pushing it to the 2-minute warning. So after that, Anthony Brown, he will take a knee on 1st and 10, 2nd and 10, 3rd and 10, drop all 40 seconds down, and then after that, we don't even have to do anything because the game clock lined up with the regular time clock and end of the game right there with a beautiful Baltimore Ravens win at the end of the day with 16 being to 14. And here, this is the kicker. I will mention this beautiful thing that they said yesterday. Steelers had not given up in the past few games, not given up more than 100 rushing yards. And we as a Baltimore Ravens football team put up 120 rushing yards over the Steelers yesterday. And man, was it crazy. J.K. Dobbins was a big factor. Our picks, all these runs, all these things, is we ran the ball a lot more than we threw it yesterday. So our handoffs, our team was absolutely crisp and clean, I have to say. Absolutely crisp and clean. I loved it. I honestly, I don't even know how to say it. I don't even know what to say. That we put up so many yards. We absolutely killed it. We absolutely crazy. And just to think, I know, like I said, we had a couple things go weird for us, but those 2 picks, that beautiful interception, and that amazing blocked punt, all is really what got us going yesterday. And just we had a beautiful Baltimore Ravens defensive day. We absolutely had a crazy day going for us. That was the best Baltimore Ravens defense I'd seen in a while. And granted, it was only a 2-score win. And we hadn't put up 30, 40 points like some teams did yesterday. But that's okay. We don't need those high number points in games. We don't need high scoring games like that. We walked away with the victory and had a great day on top of it. We absolutely had things crushed and killed yesterday for us. So I have to say, Baltimore Ravens defense is the MVP around the league yesterday after the things they did. And I don't care who says anything. Nobody can tell me different, and I don't even care. Nobody will ever tell me different because Baltimore had a beautiful defensive day yesterday, and I don't even know how to praise it more. We had some great offensive plays, and like I said, that 17-yard punt with J.K. Dobbins getting a big 44-yard run and the touchdown, all within quick succession of themselves, I have to be honest. And even Justin Tucker getting those great field goals, giving us extra numbers, extra points. He, at being a stud, and absolutely amazing. I don't even know how to say it more. Absolutely insane. So, with all that being said, this now being Week 14, moving on to Week 15, which is a short week for us and also a weird thing because we play this weekend on Saturday of all days, Saturday, December 17th at 4:30 in Cleveland against the Browns. And I have to say, that's going to be an interesting game because I don't know. I honestly, off the top of my head, I don't know Cleveland's record, but I'm excited. I'm excited to see this game. This is going to be a great one, and I absolutely love it. So, with all that being said, I will see you guys on Saturday, well, technically Sunday. I will hear from all of you once again. Thank you for listening to another episode of Baltimore Talk. I've been your host, Anthony Propst. Goodbye.